Hot Potato, the old children's party game. For those of you who aren't aware of that old game, you can check the link through the magic of Google. I've put a link in the description leading you to, if you're curious about that old children's game, Hot Potato. But that essentially is what Temple of Hotmogu is. It is Blizzard's rendition of that old child game, Hot Potato. A couple of things have changed here. There are 4 things that changed. One, the res timers. I don't know if they've increased or decreased. The bottom line, I haven't seen the difference. I don't know if this is something at the last minute they kind of pulled the plug on and said, nope, we're not going to do it. I don't know if it's something bugged. I don't know if it's so minuscule that I can't notice the difference, but I can't tell you if they've been increased or decreased. I don't see the difference. Let me know in the comments if you've noticed a difference with the res timers. I certainly haven't. The second thing they've done is they've increased your speed. They've given everybody a little bit of a speed boost. I've noticed it. It's not that huge, but I have noticed it. It seems to come more into play when you use your speed boost, whatever they might be. It just seems like people are moving a little bit faster. The third thing they did is they've increased everyone's haste, which certain classes are going to see more benefits than others, particularly since I play on a lot of different classes, because that's where the fun is for me in the game. And when these brawls come out, they tend to give you very good rewards. So I like to get involved with a lot of different classes. And I'm going to make a point about those rewards a little bit later on in the video. So be sure that you're still tuned for that. So as far as the haste goes, I see a little bit of a buff, a little bit noticeable on my Hunter who does eat haste, but the real haste eaters that love it, like Pac-Man gobbling up dots and just love it with a smile, basically Shadow Priest and Affliction Lock. And when I played those classes, I noticed that haste boost was pretty huge. It really was. And the last thing that they changed, which is where I get this analogy of the child's game Hot Potato, is you can pass the orb to someone else. So you would want to do this maybe if someone isn't picking up an orb and you just picked up one and they're just kind of zoning out, focusing down a target, and an orb is available. You could hand them your orb and go get the orb, which is kind of cool. If you're about to die or you have a lot of stacks and you want to pass it on to somebody, you can do that. And I think that's kind of cool, you know, that as you're about to die, you could pass it on to your buddy and watch him die. It's a great thing. I like that. I like that change. And I'd like to have your opinion on all these different changes, and leave them in the comments. I do respond to comments, provided that they don't start off with, Luxeley, you're a fucking idiot, and here's why, or just call me names, whatever. You resort to that, you're going to get absolutely obliterated by me in the comments. And it's my channel. I could delete it if I want, so I'm getting the last word, so don't go there. But I do want to hear your insights. I do want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your experience on this, because I do plan to make a video, one big video that's going to encapsulate your opinions, your thoughts, your insights, your humorisms, if that's not a word, I know, but you get the point, your witticisms about each and every one of these brawls. And I'm going to put it all in one video and just showcase what you guys have to say. And I think, you know, 'cause sometimes I'm just kind of bored listening to what I have to say. I want to hear what you have to say. And when people provide good insight, it certainly provides me with better insight into making videos. So leave your thoughts, insights, jokes, what have you in the comments. Be pretty damn awesome. Overall, this particular brawl, it's okay. I would like to see that pass the Hot Potato, pass the orb to somebody else, you know. That would be interesting, adding to the regular Temple of Kotmogu. Now, this is one of the more unique battlegrounds in World of Warcraft. You can almost categorize each and every one of the other BGs with at least 1 or 2 or 3 different other BGs. You know, for example, Capture the Flag, Twin Peaks, Warsong Gulch, Conquest Mode, meaning Capture the Node, Battle for Gilneas to some extent, Eye of the Storm, of course, Arathi Basin, DWG. So this one is just kind of on its own, sort of like Silver Shard Mines. And I would like to see more of that in the future. Something that's a little bit different. I certainly wouldn't mind a different map for a Capture the Flag type of scenario. But let me know what you guys would like to see going forward, because we're not going to see any new BGs in Legion. That's pretty much a reality. We have the brawls. That's our thing. going forward in the next X Pack. I would think that they would add 1 or 2 new BGs, and I want to know what it is you want to see. Do you want to see something completely different? Do you want to see something that is traditional but maybe a different map? In other words, a different capture the flag, a different conquest mode, a different 40-man BG? Are you guys into that big siege world v world type of PvP, which a lot of MMOs that are in the pipeline coming out later this year or in 2018 are sporting? So let me know what kind of PvP you would like to see in the next X Pack. Maybe I'll have a little excerpt in my conglomerate video of all this, my review of all these, or you guys' review of all these brawls. Because like I said, I just want to meet myself sometimes. So what I was saying about the rewards, I found this pretty interesting, and I want to know what your experience is. As you know, they give you a huge amount of artifact power for 1 win in the brawl with the weekly quest, and they also give you a lockbox that's going to pretty much guarantee a piece of gladiator gear or tier level gear, whether it's Titanforge, Warforge. You'll find out sooner or later, but generally what I've noticed is I don't get something I can't use. I get something that I can use. It doesn't matter if it's a very geared character or an undergeared character. It always seems like at least it's a piece of gear that I could use. It's not like I got a 880 piece of gear and it's like, oh, that's the slot for my, one of my legendaries, or oh, I already have a 880 gear slot there. No. That has not been the case in any of these brawls. Consistently, I've noticed every piece of gear I got might have been only a 5-point upgrade, but it was an upgrade. That tells me something. That tells me that Blizzard is capable of not producing duplicate rewards. And on some level, I do believe that they choose to produce duplicate rewards. So let me know if your experience overall, have you guys always or usually or consistently received a piece of gear that basically that you could use? Really curious to know more about that from you guys. Last thing, I want you guys to stay tuned till the end of this video. Probably should have said this earlier. There's a add-on that I'm using. It's called Mongomon. And what it does is it's basically breaks things down, breaks stats down of a battleground at the end of the battleground. And these stats are very indicative of where things went wrong, or even to some cases where things went right. For example, you'll see at the end of the video, it'll break down how much of my overall team's damage I did, how much of my overall team's killing blows I had, how much of the overall healing that I did, which obviously is not going to be a lot on an MM Hunter. And it also talks about my team's damage versus the other team's damage, my team's healing versus the other team's healing. And you really start to see some trends when you start accumulating that information. I think it's something that is more useful for RBGs if that's your thing. And I think you could really kind of get a good look as to where your team's strengths and weaknesses are, where you need improvement. But there's other things that it does that I don't have it activated for. I have it activated for the stats to be delivered at the end of the BG. And you guys will see that at the end of this video. It's an interesting add-on. I really, really like it. I'm a big add-on freak. I don't know about you guys, but I really am. I should probably make another UI video. Maybe even find a way to get it to you guys. Because I don't know, I mean, there are people that hate my UI. I mean, it's like people absolutely hate it, and they often dislike my videos just because they don't like my UI. Hey, I'm not recommending people to use it. This is what works for me. I have a method to my madness. And you see, there's all the stats, but no, it's not the end of the BG yet. So, you got to do what works for you. I don't care if it goes against the grains. If it's working, it's working. That's what's important. If it's not working, then maybe it's something you got to look into changing. But this is something I'm comfortable with, and there it is. You see that big green thing? and it just breaks everything down for you, like 12 kills, 112 million damage, and I had 3 deaths. That's just kind of rare for me. And then they usually insult you. You know, it says "Rest in peace, press your buttons." You know, it's usually some kind of joke there, but I find it very useful, and I think it's going to be hugely useful. I should probably make a video on that for RBGs, because if you had an RBG team, you really need this, because there are times that people are pointing fingers, and this is where it tells the story, what's going on. This is Luxley saying, whatever it is by you, morning, afternoon, or night, make it epic, and thank you for watching.